Hello, welcome on in everyone. So I've been playing a lot of the Rapier Fire Staff the past couple of days, and I've been having a ton of fun playing this build again. I did play it during the closed beta, and it feels so good to get back on it. And I got a few fights I wanted to share with you guys today of this very high mobility, high damage build. Now, this first fight here is actually against a level 60 player, and he's running the Great Axe and Hatchet combo. This is always something that people have a lot of trouble fighting, and you can see here, I'm just lobbing attacks at the Fire Staff. He actually, I think, is doing this because he wants to coax me into a trap, and you see him throw the gravity well down. I right away go for burnout to teleport out, just a couple dodges to stay out of distance, and then the flesh into the backstab, the evade into the next light attack, and so much damage into that guy. I don't think he was expecting me to turn around and burst him like that. So yeah, really cool stuff, I think, that I could hit so hard against a level 60 player. Now moving on to the next fight, I've got a 2v1 against a couple players, one of them a little bit higher level and the other one about the same level as me. And yeah, this fight was really tricky because these guys played well and they put a ton of pressure on me. You can see the Great Axe player is pretty hard on my tail there. He goes for his Warhammer stun and I managed to get a good riposte out of it, but I'm trying real tough to just fence with these guys and they're putting a lot of pressure in. The lunge on the Great Axe, really tough to deal with here, but I managed to get a lot of damage into this one player here. Just miss my Rapier combo as he evades through me, and I kind of forced to back up from the Great Axe player there, and he's just trying to chase me down. The other player switches to his spear and tries to go for some stuns. I just go for a defensive roll there, knowing he's going to go for stuns on the spear. Very, very common stun weapon. And then I go for the Rapier gap closer, back through them, into the burnout, back through again, forcing the double turnaround. And I'm doing my best just to kite out this Great Axe player. He's pretty tanky, and he deals some pretty savage damage too. He is unfortunately the higher level one, so yeah, I'm doing my best to try to pick the other target here. A nice little swivel around the Great Axe player, trying to jump on top of the enemy Rapier player there. And he manages to just escape. I go for the burnout. Again, a great connection on him. There's the fireball. I just missed. Unfortunately, it was hit by the other player, but I managed to land the next fireball, go for my riposte, and the slow speed of his weapons, unfortunately, throws my riposte timing off, and he manages to connect with those big Great Axe lunge swings. Now, I didn't give up there, of course. That's not like me. I had to go back and continue fighting these guys. Full disclaimer, I died to them quite a few times, but these were the best fights I was able to get from them, and I like this fight. I learned a lot fighting these two, especially when dealing with a Great Axe player. There you see I just rolled behind him as he's going for that lunge combo. So essentially trying to make him use that lunge against himself by forcing more distance between us when I roll through him and he attacks the wrong way. Either way, I bring these guys to the trees, a nice little heavy attack with the Rapier there into the evade just to make a really good exchange for us. Definitely what we want when we're fighting outnumbered, and Rapier's such an excellent weapon to do that. With the evade, it allows you to just cancel the animation on certain moves and escape scot-free while putting damage in. There you see the Great Axe player right in my face going for a lot of damage. I try to roll through him and then go for the burnout. Unfortunately, when I go for the next gap close, I get clipped by the AoE from those guys, and then he hits me with the next stun on the ground too. And I just managed to get the riposte as I get off the ground. I was literally just spamming riposte to try to get out of that as fast as I could. And a nice little evade combo. I try to go for the backstab on that guy, actually getting some pretty good damage into him. But unfortunately, the Great Axe player just sends me flying right away, and I'm just forced to back up into the trees. The burnout was not bad. Decent amount of damage on them, and getting the burn on everybody is good too. And the fight's actually going well. We're doing a good job just putting damage into these guys, slowly wearing them down. They've got consumables as well during this fight, so yeah, getting the kill is definitely tricky, but there you see I managed to just connect the last fireball. And now I've got the last enemy player, the high-level Great Axe Warhammer left. He goes for that big AoE stun in front of him. I just roll to the side, the burnout on top of him. And now I'm going to do my best just to kind of kite him out. Go for the riposte, and he ends up not attacking. So I just roll out of the riposte right away because I know the counterattack is coming next. And just kind of wearing this guy down little by little. Now that it's just him, we can kite him out actually pretty easily with our Fire Staff and our Rapier. And you can see here, I'm back up to full health, and I'm just doing my best to continue wearing him down. There's a nasty connection with that stun. Unfortunately, I was just caught in the burnout animation there. and then I hold the riposte a second too long, and he manages to connect. There we see the other enemy player comes back in. Unfortunately, that's not good. He did have a camp respawn close by, and I think I would have maybe had a chance of beating these guys had he not come back. But now things are definitely going to be a lot trickier. The other player's putting pressure on me. The Great Axe player still in my face on very low hit points here. He's just like not healing up until he's really close to dead. There you see, I just missed the fireball. If we got the connection there, I think that would have been the kill on him, but he goes for his potion then, and he heals up a bit. And I just go for another burnout, doing my best to kite these guys out. Unfortunately, I take a really nasty stun from the enemy spear player there. I managed to just get the Rapier gap closer through into the potion, and these guys are just continuing to chase me and spam the stuns. The Great Axe player staying hard on my tail. I go for the riposte, and again, they both just kind of wait for the riposte to end, so I just roll out of it. Honestly, not a terrible way to use riposte, because at least I get a bit of stamina back, so I can ensure that that roll is good. But wow, I get pulled by the Great Axe player and he takes me down. Rough stuff fighting something like that, outnumbered for sure. Now moving on to the next fight here, it is again against a level 60 player, and this guy is actually running the Fire Staff and Rapier combo. I actually got the pleasure of meeting this guy in my stream, so I got to know what his gear score was, and he's actually level 60 with about a 480 gear score, which is very low for level 60. So I think that's a huge reason why I can actually compete with max level players right now. A lot of them don't have the fully fleshed out endgame gear, so I'm really curious to see how strong a level 60 feels once they've gotten that fully fleshed out gear. Anyhow, let's get to commentating the fight. You can see here we're just kind of exchanging Fire Staff back and forth. Both of us are in a squishy Fire Staff burst build with the Rapier as well, so we got to be very careful how we engage with each other, and you can see he's already taken some pretty nasty chunks out of me. I just managed to get a good defensive roll there, and I land one heavy attack into the fireball, and I put huge damage into him, and then connect the burnout as well, and you can see I've just taken huge chunks out of this guy's health. Just eat the food right away as I chase him just to heal myself up. We both go for the riposte. He ends up riposting first, and then I riposte his riposte, and he rolls out of it, and then he goes for the Rapier exchange. Unfortunately, he didn't get to a potion there, so we just managed to poke him down and finish him off. And now I've got one more player running in here, and I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this fight as I say my goodbyes. I, of course, will be uploading this build as soon as possible. I have an older version on my website at pvpnewworld.com if you guys want to check it out. And, of course, if you want to catch some live gameplay from me, you can follow me on Twitch and give me a follow on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with me. I would love to do a New World Top 5 Battles series, so if you guys have any awesome clips that you want to send in, you can send that to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. This show is sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers, and they can give you better ping to your favorite games. Free to try for the first month, a link down below in the description for you. And last but not least, a massive thank you and shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Thanks to you guys, this job is a reality, so thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you everybody just for tuning in and watching today. As always, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you next time.